What's up, guys? It's your boy Aloe, and we're back with another banger. Today, we're doing the All-Star Tower Defense Orb tier list. I haven't done a tier list for this since, like, November. So I just wanted to give you guys, like, an updated look on how all the orbs are, considering all the new units that have been added since then. So let's get right on into it, boys. So first up, we're going to start off with some of the trash ones. We got Beast Scaling Orb, guys. This is definitely an F-tier orb. Low-key, guys, I showed in one of my videos. Basically that even with this orb, a 3-star is still better than a 6-star. Like, and all the 4-stars are better than this guy, like all the new 4-stars. So there's no point getting this orb. However, if you're wondering how to get the Beast M Scaling Orb or the Minotaur Orb, you gotta do Raid 1 on Extreme Mode, which is not even that hard. Just get a couple of your boys and do it. So it's not a hard to get orb, it's just kind of useless. Alright, next up, guys, on the bad orb list, we have, I don't know, we'll go with this orb, actually. Bomb Orb is actually going to be a decent orb. I'm going to put it in the A tier, just because everybody uses it for Irwin. It's like the Irwin orb. So, like, it's basically a meta unit, guys, in my opinion. A meta orb. So I'm going to put it in the A tier. The reason I'm not putting it in the S tier is because the Fire Rage orb is just a better version of it. So I just can't rank them on the same tier, you know? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. So that's why we're putting that Fire Rage orb there up on the S tier. Next up, guys, we got the Cost Orb here. Cost Orb is definitely S tier. I love to put it on Bulma. Basically, it makes story mode so much easier. Dungeon mode so much easier. Infinite mode speeds that up. So you guys got to get the Cost Orb. Low-key, guys, I am going to actually put it ahead of the Fire Rage Orb. I might get some hate for this. But the thing is, Cost Orb is actually meta for every single game. But Fire Rage Orb, in Infinite mode nowadays, you don't really need it because there's the Bomb Orb. So, I mean, it's just not that as useful. Next up, boys, we got the Golden F Scaling Orb. This is for Golden Frieza, guys, and I'm sorry. If you guys get Golden Frieza, man, that's just stupid, dude. There's honestly no point when Genos exists, so I have to put this in the F tier, guys. If you guys want to know how to get it, you have to beat Trial 1 on Extreme Mode. Very easy to do. Anybody can do it. Honestly, I'm pretty sure you can do it with, like, 4 stars. So not a hard orb to get, but the problem is it's kind of useless, and I just don't recommend getting Golden Frieza right now. However, there is a leak for a Golden Frieza buff, so check out my video on that, and you guys can get some, maybe get some lucky with a buff or something, because as it stands, Golden Frieza's damage is just terrible. Next up, guys, we got the Marrow Orb. I'm going to drop the Marrow Orb here in the C tier. This is for Ace. The reason I'm not putting it in the F tier, it is actually, I'm going to actually add another tier to this, man. Let's go add a row below. We're going to add this row, the D tier. So the D tier, they're not quite bad enough for F tier, but they're just not quite good enough for that tier. So let's go put it there. There we go. And we'll change the F tier color to this one. We'll make it drastically different. Perfect. So this is a decent orb for Trial 3 Extreme. So it is slightly better than the Golden Orb, but not much. Next up, guys, we got the Lightning Breath Orb. I'm also going to drop this in the D tier, boys. The reason I'm dropping this one in the D tier is... Why? Why would you get this, man? I think it's for Zenitsu, and honestly, Zenitsu's only maybe good for Challenge 1 Extreme. But again, you might as well pull Muzan instead. So I really just think you're stupid if you get this orb, man. I'm sorry. Unless you're a big Demon Slayer fan, there's no point. Next up, guys, we got the Gogeta Orb. I know I used to put this in the S tier, guys, but I just can't do it anymore. It is a good orb, the Gogeta Orb, but it's just not quite meta, man. Especially considering the other orbs, it's just not worth it right now. It is very good for Trial 3 Extreme, but that's about the best it's good for. So I'm dropping that in the C tier. Next up, guys, we have the Death Orb. I'm going to actually drop the Death Orb up here. Mainly because if you get this and you get Light Yagami 6-star or Kira 6-star, it's literally maxing out your damage task in like less than 4 runs. Like, you can max your damage task in a couple hours if you're a pro. So definitely putting the Death Orb at the top right now. But it is very expensive to get, guys. It is 66666, like 4 6s gems or a ton of materials. But it's worth it because it's basically instant damage task, and it's also a meta orb for a lot of modes because you want to put it on either Ryuk or Light Yagami. Next up, guys, we got the Mihawk Orb. I'm also going to put the Mihawk Orb in D tier. Honestly, guys, it is just not good enough to rank any higher than that. If you guys have the Hawk already or you want to trade for him, that's cool. But, like, the damage is just so low. It's still a good orb, guys. Don't get me wrong. Mihawk with the orb is good. It's just not that next level. So I'm putting that in the D tier. Next up, guys, we got the Path Orb. I am dropping that in the D tier as well. It is not worth it, guys. What is it? Frick. The Path. Nagato. Yeah, not worth it. Alright, Rukia Orb. Honestly, I'm going to give this one, I'm going to actually promote this one to the C tier. Might get some hate for this, but Rukia is actually still a decent unit. I know I beat, like, the last story mode with it, or one of the last story modes, so definitely still a decent unit. Also, since there was that free Rukia, like, its value just shot right up. Instead of having to get a 6-star, all you need to get is a free 6-star that literally people give it away in trading. So, that's why I'm bumping this to the next level. You don't really, it's literally a free unit. So, all you have to do is pay for the orb or grind for the orb. You don't have to, like, buy the unit with gems because it's literally free. I'm pretty sure the code might still even work. Like, it's literally a free code, like a free unit. Alright, next up, guys, we got the Blue Eye Orb. I'm going to drop the Blue Eye Orb. You got to put it in S tier. I'm going to put it actually above the Cost Orb because it always helps. It always helps. An extra couple range, man. Put that on a lot of units. Definitely very useful. I'm going to put still slightly below the Death Orb because I don't think it's actually technically required for any leaderboard strats as of late. But it's still a very good orb. Next up, guys, we have the Whitebeard Orb. Got to go in the D tier. Got to go in the D tier. Honestly, I'm going to switch it up to like that. Gotta go in the D tier, man. No point in getting that Whitebeard Orb. Majin Buu Orb. It's not a bad orb, but I just can't recommend it, boys. I'm putting that in the D tier. Alright, next up for B tier, guys, I'm putting both of the Vegito earrings. The reason being, guys, it costs so much money for a non-meta unit to get the earrings. Now, it's really great if you're working with a team. Maybe you both can get Vegito, farm a little bit of damage. But the thing is, guys, if you're a pro player, you're never using Vegito until Vegito gets a buff. Vegito buff when? Like, Vegito kind of sucks right now. I mean, his DPS isn't bad, especially when you factor in how much he costs. But he's not going to take you very far in infinite mode, at least if you're trying to get to that wave 100 meta. So, we're putting that guy in the B tier for sure. Next up, guys, we have the Poison Orb. It's not a terrible orb, but I'm still sticking to that in the D tier. It's just not that good, guys. Alright, the Luffy Orb. I'm dropping the Luffy Orb in the A tier again. Very good for dungeon, but there is other orbs that accomplish the same thing, like, for example, the Giorno Orb. So, that's why I can't put it in the S tier, because you could get the Giorno one, because Giorno is a meta unit. Luffy isn't necessarily a meta unit, especially because Giorno exists. I like the Giorno and Genos combo. That's how I usually like to beat my story modes. That's how I beat the last story mode, actually. I did throw in grade 6-star, but that's besides the point. So I'm going to drop that in the A tier. Next up, we have Super Future Tease Orb. Again, guys, solid D tier. Not really recommended. Alright, next up, we have... Oh, we have the Gon Orb. I think Gon is tradable right now. So I'm going to actually promote that to the C tier. Because, like, 200k damage, and it's a tradable unit. And it's very, very easy to get because the 4-star is still in the banner. I'm going to put it there because you might as well, if you want to get a tiny bit of damage farming going. It's not that the best unit, but because of its ease, like how easy it is to get, I am going to bump it up to the C tier. Next up, we have the Moon Orb. Bro, I'm going to get killed slap for this one. But why in the world would you... Isn't it like almost like 10,000 gems for this orb? Like, it's a waste of money when Madara exists. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, people just give away Madara. I give away Madara. If you have any unit that's decent, just skip it. It's not worth, like, the 9,000 gems or whatever it costs. And because it's not a meta unit anymore. Like, it's not even that good of a unit, guys. They kind of did him dirty. However, we do have the new Goku GT 6-star coming out, so maybe he's worth a little bit more. But I just can't recommend him, especially when Madara exists, boys. Alright, next up, we have the Goku Rose Orb. Honestly, a decent orb. I'm probably going to probably drop this one up right about here in the D tier. Underrated orb, and not a lot of people have it, but it's different. It's pretty good, but it used to work with SSJ3 Goku Rose, the one from Navi Exclaim's code unit, and that was actually busted OP. That was busted OP, man. But unfortunately, they did nerf it, and it no longer works with that, so we have to drop it in the D tier. Okay, next up for another S tier orb, we got the Ichigo Dark Orb. To get this one, you have to beat Challenge 3 on normal mode in All-Star Tower Defense. So, very hard orb to get. You gotta have Kakashi really to get it. So, I'm putting that in the S tier because it is meta for Wave 100 on Infinite mode. Next up, we got the Broly Orb. Decent orb. Decent orb. I'm gonna drop it right below Mihawk's orb. So decent orb, guys, but not meta or anything, but pretty decent. Next up, we have the Blossom Orb. Oh, I'm going to give it a little bit of credit because it doesn't get stunned in Challenge 3. And I feel like you're supposed to be able to beat Challenge 3 with these two orbs, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I'm going to put them up there because they're very cheap units, and you might be able to beat Challenge 3 with them. So I'll put them up there. You guys let me know what you think about these two orbs. I'm open to moving them down. Next up, we have the Dr. Heart or the Law Orb. I'm gonna put the Law Orb in B tier, even though it is. I think it might technically be a meta orb, but again, only one of the people in your party needs it, so it's not that great of an orb. And I can't really recommend most people spend their gems on it because it's only good in very niche situations. Honestly, you might not even need it for the leaderboard, so that's why I'm putting that in the B tier. Next up, guys, we have the God Heart Orb. I'll put it at the highest. I'm gonna put this one above this one as well. It is decent for Raid 2 Extreme. I think it actually might be Raid 2 Extreme meta, and it's a decent replacement for Luffy, especially for Infinite Mode. I think it's actually better than Luffy for Infinite Mode, and it's a tradable unit, so you can kind of get it easier. So that's why I'm gonna put the God Heart Orb in the B tier. Last orb we got is this one right here. The Fugitora Orb. Decent orb overall. Nothing too crazy. Gonna drop it there. Solid D tier orb right there. So there you go. There is the All-Star Tower Defense Orb tier list. What I recommend is you get all the orbs in the S tier and the A tier. Every single one of these orbs has value. Maybe you don't need the Jorno Orb. Maybe go for just a Luffy Orb instead. But I recommend getting all these orbs. Very good orbs. Or if you already maxed out your damage task, you don't need the Death Orb. But you might need it for certain modes. So there you go, guys. Get the S tier and A tier. Skip B, C, D, and F. Unless you really want to be a collector. So hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And Blam Spot out.